Rumour has it, though, that Mark Cudmore is excited about Indian and Australian PMI data. Let's confirm this story now and try and figure out exactly why we are so excited. Update us, enlighten us, Mark. Good morning.
I think you set the scene pretty well there. I am scraping the bottom of the barrel here, I admit. But I did just notice that both the services and manufacturing components, and therefore clearly the composite PMI reading for both India and Australia, were at multi-year highs. And I thought it was just interesting given like the negativity around global growth at the moment. India in particular is meant to be right at the target of the US trade war. And it hasn't been backing down, is suffering from great tariffs. And yet both the manufacturing component and service component surged again. And so, this global resilience story continues to go on. I should kind of give the disclaimer that, the market wasn't even excited in real time. Maybe they all missed it too. They're not used to these being big market movers. And maybe that shows just how much we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel because there isn't a lot of excitement today. The backdrop is very exciting, though. It's only because we're on pause, because there's a couple of big dynamics in play. And that's the fact we continue to see long-end yields around the world go higher. And that's into this big key Jackson Hole meeting this weekend, where I think the risk is for even higher long-end yields. So I think that's a very interesting dynamic. We've obviously got tech finally weakening, which has been the whole story higher. And that goes into NVIDIA earnings, the key name next week, which we expect to be beat. We expect to be super strong earnings. I don't think it's going to save AI. So I think that those dynamics are really, really big. And I think there's an interesting background story. It's just the major catalysts to move us on next are unfortunately not coming until Friday.
Well, Mark, talk us about the price action yesterday in tech, because NVIDIA was down nearly 4% during the session and basically made its way all the way back to flat, closing down just 0.1%. Do you read that as a bullish fundamental that this tech dip that we have seen for now nearly 4 days straight could be bought ahead of Jackson Hole?
No, I don't particularly. I wouldn't read it as anything that's been overly bearish just yet or overly bullish. It's just choppy. The fact is, we know we have a couple of key drivers, catalysts, coming up in the next few weeks. It's not just Jackson Hole. It's not just NVIDIA earnings. But then, of course, we have that jobs data. We want to kind of, given what a shocking NFP we had last time, we want to see whether this follows through. And then, of course, we have a CPI print when we know we've got a growing inflation problem that's broadening out before the September FOMC. That's the next 4 weeks. There's so much to react on, so it's just choppy at the moment.
Okay. Today we'll take it easy today, but there's news coming. I promise. I hope so. If Trump fires Lisa Cook, do I sell the dollar?
It's a great question. We didn't really answer this morning. I think the knee-jerk reaction is absolutely, because even if she was at the more dovish end of the spectrum, it's still seen as more interference in central bank policy. So the instinct is to sell the dollar. Now, I think probably people that qualify that after a little bit, it doesn't sell off too much. But ultimately, we know that every replacement is still going to be in the dovish vein from here on out. So all these catalysts around the Fed pressure are ultimately dollar negative.